So Salford starting the day in 6th spot, Hull in 11th. Is this the day that Hull finally get a win on the road in Super League in 2024, or will Salford extend their very impressive home record? They've won 6 and lost 2 here in Super League this season, and the only team to win here, the champions and league leaders Wigan Warriors, on 2 separate occasions. It's a very difficult place to come and get a result, as St Helens found a fortnight ago in the last game here at the Salford Community Stadium. No one gets an easy ride from the Salford Red Devils on their own patch. Mark Sneed, the master marksman, Super League's top goal scorer, level with Mark Percival, is going to get the action underway here at the Salford Community Stadium, with a strike rate from the kicking tee and kicking for goal still around the 90% mark, 50 out of 58. We're all set. Salford in red, going from left to right. Deep kick. And Hull will get first use of the ball here. Danny Houghton getting an early touch of the ball. And that will be a real boost to see him back in Hull FC colours from the start here for Simon Griggs. No question about that.
Hasn't Simon Griggs done a real good job since he's took over? And, you know they're going to have it really tough here. I think Salford, they're one of the best teams to watch if you're a neutral viewer. They're exciting and they really do back themselves. And I do genuinely think, going back years ago, that they never really, if they set the goals, it was to get in the playoffs. Now they want to get to the playoffs, not only get to the playoffs, but make a tilt to the grand final. They're that confident here at Salford.
How much of a difference do you think it will make, Terry, missing their ace centre pairing of Laffey and McDonald, both of them out for this match? Laffey missed the last home game.
Yeah, they're huge, because if you look at the Super League stats, and it tells you that tackle breaks, meters, offloads, they're key for the side, and the strike that they have and what they do, releasing their wingers on the edge, has been massive for Salford over the year.
Yeah, and they've got 13 tries between the McDonald and Laffey, so they're missing that. Their top try scorer, Dion Cross, is out on the field, though, with 9 to his name. Salford with their first use of the ball, an early touch for Joe Mellor, who's made the hooking role his own now in recent weeks. They've got options on the bench in that regard, Shorrocks and Buru, but Mellor gets the start for Salford. And they go into side Hull's territory for the first time, and again Joe Mellor has the ball in hand, and Mark Sneed now shaped to kick and then didn't. And they'll keep it in hand and move it to this right-hand touchline. Ryan Browley getting his first touch of the ball back in the Salford side, having missed the last 3 games. Mind you, Chris Hankinson did a great job and scored that stunning match-winning try right at the death against Saints last time they played here a fortnight ago. Good kick again. Logan Moy, the teenage fullback who's played the last few games in that position, and I've been quite impressed with him, Terry. He looks a useful prospect, doesn't he?
I think he's really promising. His 8th appearance for the club, and a young player that they want to build a team around going forward for years to come. It's not just about signing the big players, it's about bringing through your local talent and the local youth.
Played the last 5 games, only made his debut, Moy, against Huddersfield in April. Danny Houghton, you'll see a lot of him this afternoon. See a lot of this man too. It takes 4 Salford Red Devils to take him down, or at least to hold him up. Hernan Sasa, a man who's quite prepared to be the bowling ball to go into the skittles for the Hull FC. Here's the kick. Well read and comfortably handled by Ryan Browley. Runs straight into Danny Houghton. And they won't want to invite too much running from Ryan Browley. Everyone knows how dangerous he can be from broken play.
Well, if you look through this Salford team, whenever you kick the ball long, they're looking to play straight away, and they do construct the sets well. When they pass the ball, they're not just doing it just to get through the set of 6. They're doing it because they do genuinely believe that they can get you on the edge.
Salford have already beaten Cass, Hulkyar, Lee, Warrington, London and Saints here at the Salford Community Stadium this year. Sneed's left-footed kick. It's long, it won't find the grass though, it'll find the arms of Tom Briscoe. Very much in the veteran stage of his career now, Tom Briscoe. Former Lance Todd Trophy winner, over 200 career tries. It's been a great career from Tom Briscoe. Has 3 tries to his name this season, one of them when he was at Lee.
Look at him, he's going across the I really like him, but that was a poor kick from Mark Sneed. Normally they finish the sets better than that, and he'll be disappointed that Tom Briscoe caught the ball on the full.
There's Briscoe again, this time having a little canter towards the halfway line before he's knocked down. Danny Houghton. I think Hull will be happy with this start. Up to press. Great tackle. Meaty challenge from Hankinson.
Yeah, that was a nice read, wasn't it? Coming, cut it down. Herman Esse gets the offload away.
Well, that Hull passage of possession rather stalled just shy of the halfway line. And now we're going to see another kick, and it'll come from Reynolds. Reynolds launches it high. Collected again by Brierley. Brierley with a skipping step. Oh, he did the skipping, Hull FC did the stopping. Danny Houghton came in there with a tackle with Liggy Sow, and they rather derailed the Brierley train very quickly.
Well, you get up quick, and the ball is the threat, isn't it? You've got to deal with it. Clamp hold of the ball, make sure that they haven't got an offload in. You can see that's exactly what they tried to do then. Turned him on his back and made it slow play the ball.
Scampering run from Mellor. Partington at play the ball on his way to the Catalan Dragons, we understand, for 2025. Very much in the signing season now, so you'll see a lot of comings and goings announced. Brad Singleton on the charge. Mellor from right to left. Sneed's left kick. This time it's high, very high, towering kick, swirling around in the breeze and comfortably connected by Logan Moore. They all drop some, but he doesn't drop many.
Do you know what you say, comfortable, but he had to reach forward to get under that. Strong defence from Salford. He didn't quite manage to get his whole body in front. The kick was towering. It was going everywhere in here, and that's what the youngster had to deal with, and he did that.
You know, when you're watching on the television, you see the ball go up in the air, and you think, how do they drop them? Well, you stand under them and wonder how you catch them.
I was having that conversation
when it's spinning
yesterday.
around and it's oscillating in the wind. It's, you know, you wonder how any of them catch any of them sometimes, Terry.
I was having that conversation with someone yesterday at the Leeds game, and he was saying, why can't they just catch that? I said, have you ever tried standing underneath one of them?
And, of course, they can hear the herd of the opposition players charging towards them while they're trying to judge a catch.
And Herman Esse again.
Reynolds' kick heads to the sideline, crosses the sideline. Brierley comes across to master it over there.
You like that play, though, don't you? On the back of a real strong carry, Herman Esse, he must have scattered about 3 or 4 Salford players already in the game. On the front foot, see a bit of space, kick early, bit of space there. Brierley's expecting the long kick into the corner.
We're moving into the 7th minute of the match, and the applause you can hear echo around the Salford Community Stadium is for Rob Burrow. It's Rob's funeral today, the 7th of July, designated Rob Burrow Day, and the fans of Hull FC and of the Salford Red Devils showing their appreciation for the Leeds and Rugby League legend. That was Hankinson. Now this is Mellor at dummy half. Salford 10 metres just short of the halfway line. Danny Houghton, well, he's come back to the team and he's done a lot of work with ball in hand and without ball in hand, because his tackling stint has already started. We know him as one of the top tacklers in the competition over many, many years, Danny Houghton. In his 18th season, yes, 18th season. Incredible longevity.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not just what he does, like tackling and getting his body in front. The communication that man does in the middle of the field, marshalling his troops around him, really helping the big guys out as well, telling them what he needs from them.
Man of Steel 8 years ago now. Sneed putting up a high kick. He's the Man of Steel leader at the moment this year. And here's Moy again, and he's not afraid to run it back into heavy traffic here. Logan Moy.
Well, it's just his footwork that's so dangerous, isn't it? Like I said, an outstanding youngster, not scared of anything. You get that with young players when you give them an opportunity.
Very much the epitome of a modern-day fullback.
So you could look at the whole team as well, Rod. Do you know, like over the recent weeks, and with all the youngsters that have been brought into the side because of injuries or just because of lack of form, and been given an opportunity because that is the future, I think that's a real change in the mindset, and that's why they're playing so well.
Yeah, it's been a productive few weeks for Hull FC. They've got a win on the board the first of the season, or second of the season, sorry. They beat London earlier on in the campaign, and then have threatened to get more wins against Huddersfield and Warrington and maybe even Castleford, but at the moment they haven't got an away win to their name. This time it's Ryan who collects the bomb. Ethan Ryan on the right wing for Salford. He was involved in that great try at the end of last game against St Helens. when he made the break down the right-hand side, found Hankinson for the winning 4-pointer. Well, it was the conversion that was key, but the 4-pointer, Sneed's 2-pointer won it, the conversion. Brierley just dumps the ball off. Coming up to the 10-minute mark here at Salford, still waiting for first points of the afternoon on a very sunny afternoon here in the northwest. Remember, Sneed finds Brierley in the line. Brierley tries to go through half a gap. The gap closed very quickly. Closed to Mavavi, and Reynolds did the tackling. Sneed again. And Sneed again goes aerial, very aerial. This is a better one. It's knocked on, I think, by Salford, and that's the view of Chris Kendall too. But that was a more contestable kick, wasn't it?
Well, that's it. You stick the ball high in the air. You stay on side with the kicker. And as soon as it goes in the air, it is a genuine contest. And again, the youngster knows he's under a bit of pressure there. The ball was looking to be tapped back inside to Ollie Partington. Unfortunately for Salford, the ball goes forward. But not a bad place to turn the ball over, is it?
No, it was contested by Dion Cross, who's really lit up the last few games at the Salford Community Stadium. He scored twice against Saints, twice at Warrington as well. He scored 5 in the last 3 games, 9 for the season. Very much the go-to guy when they need a try. Houghton. Nice stuff here for Hull. They couldn't quite get it out to the wing. This is Liam Sutcliffe, the former Rhino, coming out of dummy half, or at least he will do when Jordan Lane can get to his feet. There's a bit of a tangle here between Lane and Atkin on the Salford side of the ball. Chris Kendall saying you're going to have to go back a yard or two there before you play it, Jordan.
Wait there, wait. That tackle for you. Free.
Like getting told off by your dad. You're both as bad as each other, just get up and play the ball.
Hayden takes it in, and the ubiquitous Danny Houghton is at the play the ball. Reynolds drops it off again. And this is a very decent start by the 11th place team, I think. That was SASA again, driving it in. Reynolds going high, trying to split Brierley and Cross. Brierley backpedals, takes it over the dead ball, or the goal line rather, in the in-goal area, and that will get Salford a 7-tackle set.
Do you know, I think that on the back of what Lewis Martin did with one of the early carries, speaking of early carries, that's a great one from tackle 1 from Ryan. But Lewis Martin did a really good job of getting his side going forward. And there's a mistake here. Oh no, there's a penalty now. They just weren't stood behind the referee. Been called offside, and they'd be disappointed with that Hull FC.
Was it Shane Wright knocked on, I think, and Hull thought they were going to get the ball.
Yeah.
But Chris Kendall had spotted it offside prior to that, and that's what he's blown.
And that's what I'm saying, they'll be disappointed. Young Lewis Martin got the set rolling with a real strong carry centre field. Poked his nose through the line, got a quick play of the ball, and Hull FC found themselves in a good attacking area. As soon as they get up there, they can't afford to give penalties away like that.
Well, Sneed has poked that into the 30-metre area of Hull. Now Salford into the red zone here. Firstly, for the first time this afternoon, Paul Rowley looking to improve his coaching record. And that's a driving run from Brad Singleton. Big bad Brad Singleton taking the ball to within a handful of metres. Here's Mellor. Mellor dumped it off to Chris Atkin, and Salford pretty close to the line here. Through Callum Watkins, he scored against Saints the other week. Sneed shaping to throw the long ball, the Harbour Bridge ball out to that left wing to Dion Cross, didn't reach him. Mellor on the 10-metre line as Salford go to work again with Mark Sneed, pokes it through, deflects off a whole boot, loose for a moment, but then the black and whites tidy up, and was that a high shot? No, says the referee, Jake Truman.
You know, Danny Houghton just stuck his boot out then, and there was a ricochet. Could have gone all wrong, but it came down in Hull FC's hand. Salford looking to get on the front foot, not only through when they're carrying the ball, but defensively here now, trying to restrict the metres from Hull FC, and probably going to be looking at where Herman SASA is in this set of 6, because they'll need to get numbers in front of him.
Liam Sutcliffe going to work here, trying to make a couple of metres. There he goes. SASA offloads to Houghton inside his own half. There was a risk element to that, but SASA was prepared to take it, and so are Hull. This is more Moy dances away from a couple of tackles. He's still going here. Logan Moy, what a run this is. The chip ahead. Will it fall to black and white hands? It won't. Falls to Ethan Ryan, who'd read it and come across. But Logan Moy there, simply sensational. Moy's the boy, Terry.
Yeah, you love it, don't you? A young lad who's going to back himself. He goes around a couple of Salford players, finds himself in some space, sees the fullback, and he's got to beat him. So what does he do? He backs himself. And you love that from a young kid who's just making his way in the game. Like I said, only 8th appearance, and he'll do something like that. Good on that young man.
It started with Herman Essay's offload. He's number 2 in the offload charts in the Super League. Do you know who the only player is above him, Terry?
Hakeem Maloudi, London.
Well, either you've done more prep than normal or you've been reading my notes. Either way, Mark Sneed puts boot to ball. There, this time backpedaling, putting the brakes on is Moy, and he just drops off a simple pass to Lewis Martin, who's come in looking for work from the wing. Lewis Martin, 4 tries to his name this season, and certainly knows how to finish given the opportunity. We've seen that this season.
Well, Chris Hankington going hunting, then just trying to cut down Liam Sutcliffe. Like I said before, trying to be dominant. Chris Atkin again trying to be dominant, standing his ground, trying to get the shoulder in. Gets bumped off though.
Well, Salford, if they win at home again here, will go 5th above the Catland Dragons. They would go 4th if they win the game by at least 174 points. I think at this stage, at 0-0 after 15 minutes, we can virtually dismiss that possibility, Terry. Houghton. And then the kick comes from Truman. Brownlee had come across to the near touchline, the Salford right, to join Ethan Ryan in that defensive position. It was Brownlee who collected, and he's slotted in very neatly back into the team, as you'd expect for a player of his quality and class.
His quality, isn't he? He's
missed 3 games out, back today.
Missed the last 3 games, comes back in, knows exactly what they have to do. Excellent in attack at the back, but good defensively as well, and safe under those high bombs.
Absolutely. Here's Joe Mellor. Well, he's knocked down, he's still inside his own 30-metre area. That was Chris Atkin with his hand on the ball, and this is Partington. And Partington runs into 3 Hull FC tacklers, and you guessed that one of them would be Danny Houghton. Mark Sneed with the ball in hand and now puts boot to ball. Great distance on this, it splits the fullback and the winger. It should be collected here, I think, by Lewis Martin. It is, and Martin goes on a gallop, didn't get very far. Good afternoon, Lewis Martin.
Yeah, great shot that, wasn't it? Get on the back of the kick again. Look at him just firing in now. Salford just trying to really mix it. Logan Lewis with a decent effort.
Tumavave getting hold of the ball. He's in his 9th season. He's been at Hull FC since 2016. And only Willie Marno of Hull's overseas recruits has made more Super League appearances than King Carlos. There's Houghton this time with a cheeky little kick. It's going to find the sideline, is it? No, it'll stay in play. Cross. Brownlee rather goes across to take it. Cross waits outside. He won't see the ball on this occasion. Brownlee goes to ground. Salford tidy up at the back. Now here he goes.
Well, 17 minutes gone in this game, and it seems to be going end to end. And who's going to crack first? Who's going to be the one who just concedes a soft error, soft try, soft penalty?
Sam Stone with a good run there. Partington coming into the play again. Knocked down. But Salford now inside the Hull FC half of the field. Singleton will take 2 or 3 of them with him, offloads. And Salford maintain position. Logan Lewis. The offload from Singleton really got them going there, didn't it? Sneed again goes to the air from his box of tricks. Whole deal with it. But Mark Sneed has so many variations on the kick, doesn't he?
Yeah, his long kicking game, he's got more kicking meters than anyone else in Super League. His short kicking game is exceptional. His kicking from the tee, like you said before, is unbelievable. So much confidence in that player this year.
Tumavave shrugging off challenges, offloads. They're certainly not afraid to offload, Hull FC. Seen plenty of that already this afternoon. Danny Houghton will get them going forward again here.
Joe Mellor.
Joe Mellor just couldn't get back. He spotted the danger, didn't he? Leggy Sow just coming onto a quick play, the ball, hitting the ball on the advantage line and looking to be busy. And Hull FC know that they need the big boys doing the hard stuff. And that's an easy penalty. Chris Kendall talking to Joe Mellor saying that he was offside.
Liggy South's 150th career appearance today. Simon Griggs' 8th game in charge of Hull FC. We know John Cartwright is coming in for 2025, but Griggs has 1 win and 6 losses in his first 7 games. But I think fair to say there's been signs of improvement for Hull FC in the last few weeks. And now they go forward again here. There's 6 to go. The siren goes. 6 more tackles here. Jake Tuman finds SASA. SASA always a threat when he's rumbling near the try line. Jordan Lane. And this now is going to be Liggy Sow. And Sow is 12, 13 metres from the line. Danny Houghton knocks on. Well, an error that he probably makes about once in a career, and you've just seen it there.
Yeah, wow. You never see mistakes like that from Danny Houghton. So clinical from dummy half. Done this thousands and thousands of times in his career. In poor conditions as well, whether it be rain or snow. And right in front of the sticks, just as he was looking to set up on the left-hand side, just fumbles the ball.
Make a note of that, Terry. His next error of that ilk will be due in about 2035. Round 16 of Super League here. There's a busy weekend coming up. Again, next week, Warrington Leeds amongst the highlights. Wigan Saints, a blockbuster there. London v Cass also on Friday night. And then on the Saturday, the Hull derby. Hull FC host Hull KR. And also on the same day, Lee play Huddersfield. And Salford go to France to take on the Catalan Dragons. Really important clash in the race for playoff places, that.
Doesn't he look really comfortable, Joe Mellor, in that hooking role? Made his name as a half-back, played full-back as well. Got good footwork, good speed, but certainly looks at home in that role.
Very much so. Partington offloads. Sneed reverses the ball to Callum Watkins. Watkins charges into 3 defenders. 30 metres out here. Hankinson comes in, but Chris Atkins says, I'll play this. Lewis. Mellor now back in that dummy half position. Very central position this, about 28 metres out from the try line, still scoreless. Sneed goes to the air again. Briscoe. Oh, fumbled, was it backwards? No, I think Chris Kendall is going to... Oh, no, it's a penalty. Hull are going to get a penalty here, so they've had a result there, a right result.
But again, the referee, Chris Kendall, you could hear him. I think he was calling Shane Wright that was offside. So saying, look, you've got to keep out of the play. You've got to be leaving 10 metres to catch the ball. Unfortunately, didn't do that, so the referee blew the whistle. And I got away with one there, Tom Briscoe, because there was 3 or 4 Salford players just waiting to pounce, maybe drive him over the line as soon as he caught that or over the sideline.
Mark Sneed having a word with Chris Kendall for clarity. I don't know if he was saying, could you reconsider? And Chris Kendall said, yes, I've reconsidered and it's still a penalty. Anyway, the referee was perfectly clear, as Terry said, that they needed to stay out of the 10-metre exclusion zone. Brad Fash the Bash, comes charging on. He was the captain of the team in the absence of Danny Houghton. The distinctive Barnet of Brad Fash. You can't miss him, can you? Jordan Lane, Houghton. And the whistle blows here. Forward pass, I think, is what the adjudication is from Chris Kendall.
Well, I tell you that, Salford, that's a win for Salford. And Hull FC just trying to play a bit too flat. We pass the ball, drifts forward. And again, Salford will get the ball back on the half, where Liam Sutcliffe just shakes his head and probably disappointed. I think he's been one of Hull's best performers. Well, I was talking about Herman SAS there before, but Liam Sutcliffe and a team that's been struggling. Simon Griggs done a decent job since he come in, like you said before, Rod.
Braley, always a danger, puts the hammer down, round Braley.
But how good's Mark Sneed at just fixing that, creating a gap? He draws 3 men before he delivers the ball.
Sneed, not just an ace goal kicker, so much more than that about Mark Sneed. And here is Ethan Ryan. Ryan comes inside of his right foot, runs into Brad Fash. Fash takes him down. But Salford now is 12 metres out. This is Mellor. Mellor crabbing across that 10-metre line. That's knocked on. It's knocked on and picked up by the black and white. It's picked up by Tumavave. Goes on a gallop. Well, frantic action here in the Super League.
You know, King Vuniyayo just couldn't quite catch that ball. But if you want to see how good Mark Sneed is, you just look at those two players that he was involved. That goes deep into the line, pulls defenders out the line. Really good. Tactical. King Vuniyayo just drops it. A couple of defenders in front of him.
Terry, 17 try assists this season for Mark Sneed. That's top of the charts in that regard, along with Niall Evalds. So he's not, I mean, plenty of those are kicks, but he's not just a kicker, is he? As you've just explained there.
He's not. He's outstanding. 17 try assist. But you just look at him there when he goes at the line, he pulls defenders out, creates space on the outside.
That looked like a knock-on to me. Ethan Ryan is on a one-way ticket to the try line, but he's going to find that the train has been told to pull into a station. It was a knock forward. I think it might have been Hankinson, but Ryan was prepared to score first and wonder what the questions were later.
Scrum.
Which is exactly the right thing to do as a winger. Yeah, it's Chris Hankinson coming into the tackle. It hits him and goes forward.
Well, they like the look of this Hull's left edge, don't they? On Salford's right-hand side when they're looking to attack Hull FC. Trying to create numbers.
Terry absolutely purring at the wonderful hairstyle of Brad Fash, reminiscing about days in the 80s when he had similar.
I had one of them years ago.
I know, I remember.
And my favourite band was Kajagoogoo.
Well, I'll let you tell Brad Fash that he looks like Lamar from Kajagoogoo, Terry. He won't even remember who he is, he's too young. Anyway, it's a scrum down on the halfway line. It's going to be a whole ball. Danny Houghton, Truman, Reynolds, that's a loose pass, and sweeping up is Tom Briscoe. It's a good job he was too, because if Salford had taken possession there and got a quick play the ball, Hull were in strife. But Briscoe was alert to the loose pass. Still no points on the board here. Danny Houghton goes on a scamper.
He just spotted a bit of space. Then for the widers were a bit too, the markers were a bit too wide around the ruck area. Oh, that looked forward. There was a knock on anyway.
Whether it was a forward or not, it's a knock on.
Yeah.
So either way, it's going to be a Salford ball.
Where do you want the scrum, boys?
Well, again, they're turning the ball over on halfway, aren't they? They're inviting Salford into the side.
Yeah. Fash's pass, Gardner's fumble.
And do you know what? Like, sometimes we become obsessed with forwards and props having to pass the ball. Brad Fash is a really destructive runner when he carries the ball. Just run as hard as you can. He's made a name for himself as a hard-working prop forward. He'd look back at that pass and think, yeah, maybe that one wasn't on.
And Hull are starting to make some mistakes to turn over the ball in the wrong area. Here is Dion Cross. Cross, once he gets into broken field, is lethal, but he couldn't get away from the fullback Moy. But Salford on the front foot, no mistake here, pouring forward. There's Hankinson, but he's got nowhere to go, and Liam Sutcliffe says not today. Mellor. Callum Watkins reversed and then looked to offload but couldn't do so. He was wrapped up by Fash and Houghton. Fash in and amongst it there, but play on is the call. Mark Sneed as they go from right to left. Akin, again they found Cross, and Cross again, and Neil Dion has scored again. And that's his 10th try of the Super League season. It wanted finishing, and Cross was just the man for the job. And he's scoring in every game at the moment. 2 against Saints last time here, 2 against Wyre the week before, 5 in the last 3, make it 6 in 4. Dion Cross lighting up the Salford Community Stadium again.
Well, I'll go back to the man who's just talking to Ryan Briley, Mark Sneed. He creates space because when he goes at the line, he controls the tempo of the game. He's got the defenders going in on him. You can see, look, there's just a couple of them just have eyes for him. Then a good ball from Chris Atkin. Then Ryan Briley out the back. And Dion Cross, he's been in tremendous form, hasn't he? He came into this game with 5 tries in the last 3 games. Certainly out of yardage as well. And when he's just got one man to beat, he certainly will take his chance and go over the top of him. But Mark Sneed, then Atkin, then Briley, then Dion Cross. Cross gets it. The white line's in front of him and goes over the young fullback.
Well, Mark Sneed has kicked 50 of his 58 attempts at goal so far this season. He's top of the goal-kicking charts with Mark Percival. He missed a few here last time against Saints, including the one that he missed deliberately, trying to con the referee with a little bit of a trick play. Do you see that, Terry?
Deliberately, was it?
Yeah. Deliberate missed penalty to the far side, trying to create a try-scoring opportunity, but Jack Smith was too wise to him.
Yeah, Wiry Old Fox said, kicking tee from the sideline. And he's been in this position many times this year. 86.2% success rate. He'll back himself to get this one over.
Well, this is about as tricky as it gets for a left-footed goal kicker, right on the stripe on the far side of the field. And Mark Sneyd with this very distinctive kicking style as he backs into a curious angle before striking the ball. Can he make 4 into 6 as he so often does? He's missed.
Wow.
And wherever it is, it's always a surprise when Mark Sneyd misses a kick.
And a couple of the Salford fans below us as well just started booing. They were smiling. Kurt Haggerty, Paul Rowley, just looking on. Know that they're in a game, mate. They've been really tested by Hull FC, who've shown up well, been good in the opening half, but it's just clinical from them. They did well to take that last ball from Ryan Briley, but the amount of times that we're saying that those names in Sneyd, Atkin, Briley.
Oh, well, he scored the try, but now, off the back of the restart set, Dion Cross has blundered big time. Knocked on his own try line. Worst possible place to knock on, and it'll give Hull the ball 10 metres out.
I don't know what he was doing with his legs then, whether he thought he was anywhere near the sideline. He just like seemed to be spread his legs a bit too wide. He couldn't have got it that wrong, the kickoff of where the ball was coming down.
Well,
really good player, Dion Cross. Made a big error though there.
Well, they've handed Hull an invitation to attack their try line, having gone in front. Houghton, Reynolds, Truman, what have Hull got up their sleeve here? It's the perfect attacking position. From where they are now, they can go right or left. They go from left to right. And Hull's best chance of points, Gardner, Houghton. What have Truman and Reynolds got up their sleeve? What can they conjure up? Houghton finds Reynolds on loan from Hull Kingston Rovers, but is wrapped up immediately by Joe Mellor. This is Truman. Truman drops off, and coming inside is Jordan Lane. Lane going sideways rather than forward. Now he moves into a forward running position. But Callum Watkins is there, Partington is there, and Shorrocks is there off the bench. Houghton. Reynolds knocked on by Sneyd, goes loose, and a bit of the scrum, I feel, to Hull.
Well, he pulls the trigger, doesn't he, Mark Sneyd, and he goes for that ball. He could probably see that play unfolding and thinking more or less, what would I do if I had the ball and I was attacking? You can see him anticipating. He jumps the line. The ball from Reynolds just comes off his left hand. It's another set of 6 though from Hull FC. And in this good ball area, they need to ask some more questions. Thought they were a bit flat in that last set of 6 that they were looking when Jordan Lane bounced back in the field. Nothing on over on the left.
I think fair to say that Hull haven't yet seen the best of Jake Truman. He hasn't quite been the Reynolds, forget Truman, this is Reynolds. And Reynolds just absolutely waltzed through a glaring gap. You could have driven a train through there. And Ben Reynolds has just cantered in for the equalising score. His first try of the season. And how easy was that?
Yeah, well, he's got some experience, hasn't he, Ben Reynolds? Like in his 9th club, but certainly knows how to play. And he scores the try, gets them back in this game just before half-time. And it was just too simple. It was his pass that got him the repeat set of 6 from Mark Sneyd. And he gets the ball. You can see a couple of players just switching off. They went for the dummy runner, which was Jordan Lane. He's pumped the ball. He's gone on himself. The Salford players picked the wrong angle. It's Callum Watkins. How many times see Callum Watkins make a mistake? You run the ball, you've got it in 2 hands. 2 defenders go for 1 attacker. Simple try.
And you talk about Mark Sneyd's kicking record. This bloke's not bad either. He's kicked 12 out of 13. And I make it he's kicked his last 12. Ben Reynolds. Last missed at Casford a few weeks ago. Kicked goals in the last 4 games. And Reynolds, he won't have any bother with this, he wouldn't have thought. And he has no bother. And he converts his own try, Ben Reynolds. And suddenly, out of the blue, Hull FC lead here at Salford by 6 points to 4.
Well, and the big thing is you're trying to anticipate what the man who's got the ball is going to do. But that's just a blatant error from them. Callum Watkins goes in for the dummy runner. Then the man couldn't quite get to him, who's on his inside shoulder, couldn't quite get to Ben Reynolds. That's a big play.
And it's the kind of try, when you see it, you think there must have been an obstruction. It can't be that easy. But there wasn't. And it was that easy.
Well, that's it. You just look up, you play what's in front of you, and certainly did that.
Houghton doing that now and just cantering forward into Partington, and Hull FC suddenly now have taken the lead. Trail 4-0 thanks to the 10th try of the season from Dion Cross, and then Ben Reynolds ghosting in for the leveller, and then the go-ahead conversion. Fash with renewed vigour, but running into Shorrocks and the King. That was Liggy Sow, and there, here's the try scorer Reynolds. It's a high one. Brierley makes no mistakes.
And again, it's a good testing kick from them, and Hull FC now on the back of that try. They certainly look like they've got a bit more energy. Brad Fash getting off the line and putting some pressure on.
Well, from what we've seen, not only in the first 40 here, but over the last few weeks, I'm forming the impression that the days of Hull being easy beats in this Super League competition this year are in the past. I think a few teams might have a few questions asked of them by Hull FC in the next few weeks.
Well, they've certainly...
And mind you, Terry, what about London Broncos rattling the Leeds Rhinos cage yesterday, unlucky not to win, perhaps?
Yeah, that was a game that could have gone either way. When it went to the extra time, London had the chances, and it was a game that Leeds got away with, really. But like you say about this Hull side, they've made some changes. They brought some players in. Yusuf Aiden's another player that they brought in who's really showed up well. Along with some of these young players that have been forced to play from injury, because of injuries or lack of form, whatever it has been.
Briscoe there, Reynolds. Houghton had to reach backwards for that one before finding Fash. And Fash charges forward again before knocked down by three Salford Red Devils, and Houghton's quick to the play the ball area. Carlos Tumavave. Tumavave keeps his feet and then loses his footing eventually. Falls into the arms. Callum Watkins, and now here is Truman. Truman trying to put Lane through the gap but lost the ball, and Salford have got it back.
Yeah, it was always difficult to get that ball then. You can see what Jake Truman was trying to do. He was trying to get that defender interested that much that I think it was Jordan Lane. He wanted him pushing into the next hole, just come a bit shorter, and there's a bit of a gap outside King Buniayawa. Instead, he just goes on the outside shoulder of Joe Mellor and then loses the ball.
As I was saying before, Ben Reynolds rudely interrupted me. Hull haven't seen the best of Jake Truman since he's moved from Casford in 2023. He's only played 21 games and he just hasn't gone into the flow. He hasn't found form and fitness, really, has he? We know how good he could be when he was at Cass, and if they could get Truman to find his best form and his best game again, he can still be a lethal operator.
Yeah, of course he could, and he's at the right age, isn't he? They pumped a lot of money into him when they got him to move from Cass. Only played 6 games this year, but he is key. He's a creator, a very good, talented player.
Move! That will! Hold!
Here's Hankinson. Hankinson stretches his legs but runs into the arms of Will Gardner. Mellor now as we move inside the final 4 minutes of this first half. Brierley inviting cross down. Morani scored one. He's not going to score from there. Again, Boy has read it, and with the assistance of Ben Reynolds, they diffused the situation. But Salford still with a couple of tackles in hand here. That's Shorrocks. Shorrocks and some desperate defending here from Hull FC. And well, it might be because Salford are now just 20 metres away from the try line. And Mark Sneed has the ball. Floats up a left-footed kick. Briscoe's there. Takes it. Was he taken in the air? He wasn't, as the tackle came in from Sam Stone. But that's all above board, according to Chris Kendall, and it's play on.
Well, he gets that right, doesn't he? And he managed to get hold of that ball. Sam Stone just getting, like I say, in his eye line. Comes down with it. The ball's always easier when you can see it coming down in front of you instead of over his shoulder, when he struggled with one earlier on in the game. Herman Esse back onto the field. Again, another strong character. Look at that, he tracks 5 players, Rod.
Well, people have questioned a lot of Hull FC's recruitment this season. They're not recruiting the signing, not questioning the recruitment of that man, are they? Far from it. One of the stars of the Super League this season, Esse. powerhouse prop. This should be collected by Ethan Ryan. Uses the boot to trap it before picking up to go on a gallop. And he reaches the 30-metre line away from his own line. Are we going to see more points in this first half, or are Hull going to go in at half-time with the 2-point lead? They'll be more than happy with that, I'm sure. Simon Grix and his troops. Brierley and Snead's not happy.
Yeah,
Mark Snead is demanding more. Demand it, Mark.
Do you know what? And you love playing it as a forward. I used to love playing with players like that because you knew exactly what your role was. If you didn't do your role, he'd give you a serve like that.
Johnny, just Carlos! Move! Move! You're good now! Move, Carlos!
Stone trying to squirm through. Couldn't quite do so. Mellor shaped to pass. Brierley was arriving, but the ball never reached the fullback. So he'll drop into dummy half after Mellor was tackled. Snead again. Snead kicks. Deep, bounces just shy of the try line. Should be picked up here by Lewis Martin. There's been precious few chances in this match. Cross scored after 27 minutes, his 10th try of the season, and then 4 minutes later Ben Reynolds just ghosted through a gap to level up and then push his side a couple of points clear with the conversion. Snead having missed the extras from Cross's opening try.
Well, at the start of the game, I thought there was going to be plenty of points scored in this fixture. It's been a bit of a cagey encounter, hasn't it?
And so far,
making errors.
CSA again. Oh, and the bowling ball goes into the skittles again. Now the kick. And that sends a scurrying Brierley across his 10-metre line to collect cleanly. And Brierley now met by a wall of black. No room there for Ryan Brierley.
Well, just get out of the way. He's getting rid of players. Herman Essa. He must have made about 7 or 8 tackle busts in this first half alone.
Snead, short ball this time. And as soon as he'd offloaded that ball, Mark Snead, he was back to tell the troops what was happening next. Vuniyawa, the king, close to the halfway line. Mellor's there to direct the attack, and Snead again. Little chip this time, bounces in no man's land. Picked up by Brierley. Brierley kicks again, 2 kicks in the same tackle. Hacking it from Moore, he's missed it. There's trouble here. Cross, he can't get there. Well, that was close to catastrophe for Hull FC, and who had an air shot. The video referee here, it can't possibly be a try. But what does he think's happened? No try, obviously, yeah. So it's a question of what did Jack Smith think happened there? What does he see there, Jack Smith? What will he adjudicate?
Okay. Yeah, it's just let me know when we're on air. It's tackle. Yeah, it's tackle 4. We've got no try on field. We're checking for a penalty try. First kick, Snead's a kicker and everyone's onside. I think there might be a second kick as well. This is all okay. There's a second kick and everyone's onside. Now, it's a matter of this collision from Briscoe that we'll need something close in on. The ball ends up going dead. So we just need this contact from Tom Briscoe, please. It's going to be this one. Yeah, this angle might be good for us. Yeah, we'll run it through from here, please. We've established everybody's onside. This is fine. Briscoe appears to step across him there. Let's just have a look again. Have we got any other angles of that? We'll have to go back, please, a little bit further. Does he come into shot on this angle? Let's see what no, we lose him on that. Have we got any other angles of this, please? We'll go from this one. And then he's kicked the ball on. And the ball ends up dead. Chris, thank you, I've made my decision.
So what's the decision going to be here from Jack Smith? He's made the decision. What is it, Jack?
Is it Aiden? Yeah. Briscoe? Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, and the fact we end up with a loose ball, for me, takes it into a sin.
It's no try. but
There's no
it's
try.
going to be a penalty here to
Professional foul in the
Salford,
bin.
and I think there could be trouble here for Tom Briscoe. Deemed to be obstructing players
Briscoe.
running through deliberately, and in the bin for 10 minutes, which will now be the first 10 minutes of the second stanza, because you might have heard the siren go in the background. It's a penalty to Salford, and with half-time already upon us, you feel that it's a question of Paul Rowley getting the message out to say, I feel the need for Sneed. And it will be. It's going to be Mark Sneed.
Nice try though, Ryan.
And it's no surprise, there's nothing on here. They're not going to run one play. Now, this is still a difficult kick, even for a man of Mark Sneed's class, but...
Well, Tom Briscoe knew what the threat was, and he just nudged him off the ball. Like the referee said, and the video referee, they had to be 100% guaranteed they'd get that ball down. They weren't. Tom Briscoe, the opening 10-minute second half, sat down on the bin, in the bin.
Do you think he's unlucky to get sent in for that, or is that fair enough?
No, that's fair enough, that.
Ethan.
Well, at the moment, it's cost Hull the services of their veteran winger for 10 minutes at the start of the second period. Is it going to cost them 2 points too? Mark Sneed trying to level it up at the half-time interval. Hull by 2 at the moment. And Mark Sneed levels the scores with a calm conversion of the penalty goal. And at half-time, it's all square at the Salford Community Stadium as Mark Sneed ties it up. Crosses try for Salford, Reynolds for Hull, a try apiece, a goal apiece, so that makes it 6 apiece. And the second half is coming next, but before then we'll have some half-time analysis and a chat about what we saw in the first half, and that's coming next. 6-6 at half-time. Hull KR, Lee, Warrington, London and Saints have all succumbed to the Red Devils. Wigan have won here on both occasions they've made the short trip. So what will unfold in this second half? What are you expecting here, Terry O'Connor? Can Salford go on with the absence of Tom Briscoe for 10 minutes, or can Hull hang on and go on to win away from home?
Well, Hull FC have shown that they're determined. They've definitely changed in their attitude in recent games. I think what you'll be looking at and what they'll be after in this second half is a good 40 minutes performance led by the forwards and really take it to Salford. Salford would never ever have underestimated Hull FC. They knew that they were going to be here, they were going to be in a contest at 6 apiece. Could go either way, but if you wanted me to pick who's going to win, I think it'd be Salford.
Well, we know they're without Tom Briscoe for 10 minutes, and we're trying to ascertain what the situation with Danny Houghton is, because he went off injured, the Hull captain, towards the end of that first half. And the question is, how bad is the injury? He's missed games, we know that. He's back today, and important for Hull FC that he's patched up and get out there for the remaining 39 minutes plus of this contest. They don't want to be without him again, as Sneed kicks for Salford early on in the piece. Scampering back is Moy, the fullback. Logan Moy.
Surrender! Stand! Hold!
Well,
Hold! Go! Good 10 boys. Well done,
The bulletin from the sidelines is not good for Hull FC, because Danny Houghton has a calf injury and is rated unlikely to return. Just sum up what a difference that might make in this half of football, Terry.
Yeah, it'll be disappointing. I'm just looking on the sideline now to see if he's actually been showered, and obviously won't be returning. He'll be disappointed, but Denis Bamford, he's come into the side. Look, he's been given an opportunity, Denis. They didn't know whether they were going to keep him at the end of this year. They've gone out. I think they've signed Amir Burrow from Salford, who's on the bench, so he'll be looking for a big game. But Denis Bamford, the man who's kicked the ball, then I think he's come up with some real strong performances in recent weeks.
Yeah, he scored a cracking close-range try against Leeds, didn't he? Right at the stroke of half-time, that really made a difference in that contest that Hull went on to win against the Rhinos. And now he's got really 40 minutes to show his wares here, because Danny Houghton very unlikely to return with that calf problem. There is Danny. He looks like a man who realises his afternoon's work is over to me, but maybe he could surprise us. Who knows with the 2016 Man of Steel?
Well, they'd have to go and put his kit back on.
Well, there is that. He's unlikely to come on incognito, is he, undercover? Here is Shorrocks. Shorrocks finds Sneed. Sneed seeing plenty of the ball again, as you'd expect. The kick. Oh, and Ryan Brierley says, I'm back. The Salford fullback marks his return to action after a 3-match absence with a 4-pointer. And Chris Kendall, though, I think wants to check here. Shane Wright saying, what's up?
We have a try.
And Chris Kendall says, well, I think it's a try, but I want Jack Smith to confirm in the video refereeing booth. It's over to you, Jack.
Yeah. Come on. Tackle 5, we've got a try on field. We're checking onside, offside, so it's going to need pausing on the foot, please. Right, everybody is onside apart from Shane Wright in the middle. Let's see what involvement he has and whether Sneed comes through or not. Let's run this through now, please. This same angle, please. Don't get played on. Just pause it on the catch, please. On this same angle. Or we just go back to where the... Keep going back, keep going back, keep going back. Right, let's pause it there. Shane Wright on the angle there is outside of the 10. We can run this through, please. Check on something close on the collision. Just make sure that Brierley collects this clean. On this one. Brierley goes up. Yeah, this angle's fine. He collects it clean and the ball is grounded. I've made my decision.
And Salford are going to go back in front here right at the start of this second stanza. It didn't take them long to regain the lead. The try coming from Ryan Brierley. He's taller than Logan Moore. He jumped higher than Logan Moore. And once he got the ball in his hands, he said, I'm having 4. And it's a good try, that, from Brierley on his return from injury.
Well, again, pulling the strings. Mark Sneed, he just drops it on the head of the youngster, and he's not the biggest. Like I said, Ryan Brierley is a first size. He's 6'2", and he makes it a contest. When that ball goes in the earth, there's only going to be one winner, and that was Ryan Brierley. Disciplined chase to stay behind Mark Sneed, who was kicking the ball.
And Mark Sneed adds the 2. The lead grows from 4 to 6. And ordinarily, Logan Moore could have expected a bit of support from his right winger, but his right winger is in the sin bin.
But you just see how good the kick was. Look, he was up, he was floating, young Logan Moore, just behind the defensive line. Then he's backing off. It's very hard to jump up when you're backing off. And Ryan Brierley, he was the man who was on the front foot, and he gets over the top of the youngster.
7 tries in his last 8 appearances for Ryan Brierley. 7 tries in the season for the Salford Red Devils fullback. A key cog in the wheel, no question. Salford now back in front by 6 points, the biggest lead they've had all afternoon.
Well, Paul Rowley and Kurt Haggerty now will be hoping that they've got a bit more of a cutting edge. It took 27 minutes for Dion Cross in the first half to score the first points of the game. It took Salford just 3 minutes in the second half.
There was a point early on the season several weeks ago now when Paul Rowley was being linked with the whole FC coaching job. What a kick that is!
Wow, you just seen that kick then. When that left the boot of Mark Sneed, it was spinning. It was going in field and it was spinning end over end. As soon as it hits the ground, it starts going towards that sideline.
And just look at the swaz on that. And it's a 40-20. Mark Sneed has caught fire at the start of this second half. And Salford up by 6 and looking to make that 10 or 12 here from this base camp they've established thanks to the 40-20 kick from their string puller. No space there for King Bunyawa. Gil Dodson, the rumbling presence, the menacing presence of Gil Dodson. Mella, Bunyawa, the King close to the line. Cross sniffing another try-scoring opportunity just outside him on this left flank. Sam Stone. Sneed, steps, Mella, Shorrocks trying to find a gap, there's nothing there. 3 Hull FC defenders knock him down, but they're hanging on here, Hull now. And you feel another try here would put them really in peril. Mellor, Dudson from close range, almost broke one tackle, but Fash clung on. Messi play the ball, awful play the ball, whistle blows. It's going to be a penalty to Hull. And will we see another 2 points added to the impressive tally of Mark Sneyd?
Well, Brad Fash needed to clear the ruck, then you could see he was just lying behind it. The quick tap.
No, they go for the throat here. They turn down 2 in search of 4 or possibly 6. Stone again. Stone from left to right to Sneyd, who turned down the kick. Would have been a simple 2 for him. Bunyayawa. Remember, Hull with Briscoe in the bin here, made to pay already. Could they be paid to pay again? Sneyd drops over the ball. Shorrocks offloads. It goes further wide. Hankinson scored the clincher last week, the match winner. This isn't a match winner yet, but it's an important try. Chris Hankinson's 3rd of the season. Great handling from Salford. They worked him from left to right. And in the end, Hankinson had the space. He thought he might have to put one more pass on the table. But then he saw the try line and said, I'm going in.
Well, like I said, they turned down going for 2 points, didn't they? They were confident of getting the try. You can see that Brad Fash is just lying in the ruck. And young Yusuf Aiden, he dives on the ball. He can't do that if someone's in the wrong side of the ruck. And Salford just playing. Shorrocks goes through the line, offloads the ball. And nice hands from Salford. Seems like a different attitude. The Salford fans have really started to come alive now, knowing that their side have scored 2 tries in the opening 6 minutes. Hankinson goes over. Well, give Hull something. The Hull fans are trying to get their players to believe that they can go on and win this game. At the minute, they're just 10 points behind on the scoreboard. 2 points from the boot of Mark Sneyd. Whether he can get this one or not, but Chris Hankinson, he's another one of those players that's been brought into Salford and done an amazing job, really. Scored the match-winning try against St Helens last week.
Mark Sneyd spent 6 years at Salford between 15 and 21, 175 appearances, over 1,300 points for the ace goal kicker. Twice won the Lance Todd Trophy at the Challenge Cup final in taking hold to Cup glory at Wembley. And now he's biting the hand that used to feed him to some tune here, and he adds 2. Well, seconds before half-time, Hull were up by 2 points. At half-time, it was all square, and Tom Briscoe was in the bin, and now 8 minutes into the second half, Hull are adrift by 2 converted tries, because Brierley and Hankinson have both scored, and Sneyd's had both goals, and it suddenly all looks rosy for Salford.
Like I said,
18-6.
All of a sudden, the atmosphere seems to have changed, doesn't it? I better believe Tom Briscoe in the bin. A couple of more minutes to go before he's back on the field for Hull FC.
Salford looking like moving into 5th spot on the league ladder. Ball's loose on the floor. Chris Kendall says knock on.
Well, this is a big chance for them. King Vuniyawa is the man who's made the mistake. He's appealing to the referee, saying that ball was stripped. There's a couple of big boppers in there when they hit him. You see, as he goes down, he's got weight. I think it's Lewis Logan. Sam Essiese. And young Will Kirby.
Wait for the out call. Wait for the out call. Let's go home.
Knock on was the call, despite Salford feeling there might have been a hand in there. Chris Kendall didn't see it that way, and Hull get the ball. Can they hit back? Can they get hit back here? Truman trying to launch the attack. And there is the backup hooker, Barmforth. Denis Barmforth was involved, and this is Reynolds, the try scorer in the first half. Hull desperate for points here, desperate to cut the deficit. They're down by 12. Barmforth and Truman's involved, and Moyes up from fullback. He'll do well to get through there, but he's still going until Joe Mellor says that's enough of that nonsense. Barmforth again, going from right to left. Long ball to Truman. Short ball this time. Essiese, can he find an offload in amongst the congested traffic? Tries to get an arm free, can't do so. But they're knocking on the door here, Hull FC. 2 tackles left in this sequence of 6. Good run by Aiden. Last tackle now, as indicated by Chris Kendall, the match referee. Barnforth goes himself, tries to pinch one. He's over. Has he got it down? Has he got it down? Impossible for us to see it. I think it might well be impossible for Chris Kendall to see. But what is his verdict?
Jack, it's tackle 5, mate. I have a try.
He's given the try on the field, so Jack Smith will have to adjudicate. And this could be a tough one to see anything, but Jack Smith has his eagle eye on it, so it's over to the video referee.
Tackle 5, we have got a try on field. We're just checking ground in the ball. Can we just go back a couple of frames, please, on the same angle? Just make sure he maintains possession earlier than this. Can we use the same angle, but just back a little bit further? Yeah, that's fine now. We can run this through from here now. Barnforth's in possession. It's going towards the line. It's all legitimate. That's a legitimate tackle. Let's just follow the ball now. Still in possession. Still in possession. There's a hand there at the minute. Can't see. The live decision is try. Run it through on this angle. Let's just see where we end up, because he's over the line at this point. Keep going through. Keep going through. And keep going through. We'll need a different angle of this now. Got any other angles of this, please? Yeah. Yeah, we'll go on this angle. Yeah. Nice and slow on this angle. Oh, on this angle, please. We'll just go back a few frames there. This angle and really slow now. Really slow on this angle. And we're going to pause it in a second. Just go back and pause it, please, at the point the ball, tip of the ball touches the line. Just go back and pause it there. Thank you. I've made my decision.
Right, well, Jack Smith has been busy this afternoon. What's his decision this time? Aho back in the contest. They are back in the contest. And Deneve Barnforth has got his second try in a few weeks for Hull FC. He scored against Leeds, now he's scored against Salford. And I think, Terry, you'd do well to say that he hadn't grounded part of the ball on part of the grass, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he got that down. Good camera work from the reverse shot. You could see him get the ball on it. Look, he's a powerful player. Like, he thought his days were numbered at Hull FC when there was rumours about other hookers coming into the club. And it's another 2 points to get the sixth that they're after to get them back into this game with Ben Reynolds. And I think Deneve Barnforth on the back of a nice carry from Yusuf Aiden. Like I said, scored a try a couple of weeks ago. He shows it one way, goes the other. And he really has got a point to prove. He was released from Warrington down the road, goes up to Hull FC. Then all of a sudden, after a couple of years at Hull FC, thought he was on the outer again. And he really has upped this game.
Well, it wasn't a dissimilar try to the one he scored from close range against Leeds. And I don't know, do you congratulate the scorer or blame the defenders?
Well, you look at the size of him. He is powerful. Like I said, spent some time in the Championship last year, so he's done it tough playing against men. I think he's 21 in October, so still a youngster.
Well, two quick tries from Salford at the start of the second half, Briley and Hankinson, and then one back for Hull FC from Deneve Barnforth. And now SASA, and we know he's got an offload in him. And he tried to offload there, it's gone free. Hankinson's picked it up, he's on a canter to the try line, the whistle's gone. Stops him in his tracks. He thought he was away to bag a brace. Chris Kendall said no, it's a knock on, and it's a whole ball.
Yeah, well, SASA is a human wrecking ball, isn't he? And he bounces off players again, gets rid of a couple, goes to offload it, comes off a Salford hand and goes forward. It's actually Hankinson that makes the mistake and it goes on the floor.
On the line, boys.
Well, Hull FC will be fortunate here. Hankinson would have took that. It's a clear run to the line. He knocks the ball on, and Hull FC now 30 metres from their line will have the scrum in their favour.
SASA, New Zealand international, played against England in Denver in that famous test, or infamous if you prefer. Coming up next week, some big games, including the Hull derby. Hull against Hull KR. And the Salford Red Devils make the trip to France to take on the Catalan Dragons. These games coming next Saturday afternoon. The Wigan derby against St Helens is on Friday night. So it's a blockbusting week of Super League action. Every match live on Sky Sports. There's Reynolds. And there is Jake Truman, but Truman is wrapped up with nowhere to go.
A good defence from Mark Sneed again. SAS is ramping up, backing in now. Numbers come in, cut him down. Last play. This is going to go high to the corner, surely.
Reynolds floats the kick and it floats it out of play.
They were set up over on the left-hand side and they were screaming for that ball, and they wanted to kick the ball high in the corner and give Lewis Martin a chance of really challenging Ryan. You could see them set up. Ryan already sat in the pocket. They go to the short side, just overcooks it, and it's a poor end to the set.
Yeah, turned into a complete shank from Ben Reynolds, and he'd like to have that one back again. Turnover then, 30 metres on their own line, Salford. That's a good result for them at the end of that set for sure, off the back of conceding.
Well, Brad Singleton, Ollie Parton and Amir Burra now back onto the field for Salford. Joe Mellor taking a break along with Shorrocks and Gil Hudson.
Well, Salford, we know, are going to France next weekend as we go into approaching the run into the season when playoff places up for grabs. Catalan away, Huddersfield away, then 2 home games back-to-back for Salford, Cass and the Rhinos, and then they go to Saints in round 21. This is good from Brierley, stumbles, lost his footing, gets it away, it's loose. Amir Burra picks it up, it's gone forward, says Chris Kendall. Well, wow. Ryan Brierley was tripped up by a phantom defender and lost his footing.
Well, Amir Burra, when he goes through, he offloads the ball, Partington gets rid of it. Ryan Brierley, like you said, he goes through, you think he's going to get there, and he just trips over the line in front of him. Wow, a little bit of panic here now, coming in. Salford, it looked like it'd be an easy try for Brierley, and just losing his feet.
Well, once he steps the fullback, it's a try for all money.
Yeah.
And then inexplicably just lost his footing. One of the most elegant runners in Super League, but lost his footing, Brierley, as he looked to get his second try of the afternoon and 8th for the season. And that could be the biggest let-off of the day for Hull FC. Does that keep him in it?
Yeah, absolutely, that will. Well, it's easier for them, because I'm sure that kick would have gone over if Brierley scores that try. It's easier for them to get battered with 6 points rather than 12. Tom Briscoe back onto the field.
Back from the bin, Briscoe. Well, they've dodged one there and no mistake. Hull FC still down by 6 with time ticking on, but that's a lot better than being down by 12. Truman tried to make half a break. He had Liam Sutcliffe outside him, couldn't find him, couldn't get the ball away. Barnforth then to Reynolds. Reynolds' kick is better this time, or is it? Yes, one bounce into touch, one hop into touch. The last one went out on the full. That was close to,
that was close.
It just sat down in time, didn't it?
Well, he was sucking in the big ones when this goes towards that sideline. Like I said, it was just inches away from going over.
Yeah, I think you're right, Terry. I think when he put boot to ball, he fielded over clubbed again, didn't he? But he pitched it perfectly in the final analysis.
Again, here with 24 minutes to go now, I want to see Hull FC have a bit of aggression in the defence. Make sure they stay on the right side of the law, but control the speed of the ruck. Stop what Salford are doing, take the play away from what the hookers are doing, the halves are doing, and really get stuck into the forwards when they're carrying the ball away from in their yardage.
Buru is there and Sneed is also there, and the King comes onto the ball on the burst.
That's it, Brad Fash just chops him down, doesn't he?
That's Sam Stone. Stone squirms through but doesn't make any real yardage. But they're approaching the halfway line here, Salford, with their 6-point advantage. That's Brad Singleton. Singleton offloads. Sneed steps. Long ball from Sneed. They're trying to get it to cross or this near touchline. It's come loose and it's snaffled by Carlos Tumavave for Hull FC.
Was there a gap there for Mark Sneed to go through himself? Instead, he tried to pass the ball, puts pressure on his teammate, And again, just turning the ball over quite cheaply to Hull FC.
Chan, the French international, with a carry. On Hull. Only a converted try away from levelling the scores again here, remember. Jordan Lane with the carry, now Reynolds. And Reynolds keeps them going. The Barnforth's involved. Truman can't find a way through. Meters hard to come by here for Hull FC. Another set of 6 will help though. 6 again here. SASA offloads as the bouncing ball picked up by Salford. Brierley. And Salford could make them pay a heavy price here. Stone offloads. Again it's Brierley. Brierley's on fire here. He's over the halfway line. Ryan Brierley injected himself and injected the pace into the line. Another 6 here. 6 again's coming thick and fast. Callum Watkins rumbling run. Collected by Dion Cross. Cross is over the 30-metre line. Brad Fash working hard to make the tackle with Ben Reynolds. Burrow in a dummy half now. In the hooking roll. Sneed. Lewis. Good counter here from Salford. Good counter attack. Whistle's gone. It's a penalty. 2 points here, which has been put on a silver salver surrounded by seasonal vegetables for Salford here. Easiest 2 he'll ever kick.
Yeah, without a doubt, they'll take it to 2 scores, won't they? It was nice play from Salford. That whole set of 6 from the mistake from Herman SASA, when Brad Singleton and him came together, SASA drops the ball. There's a bit of a coming together with those 2 big fellas. Ryan Brierley just picks up the ball and goes, and it's just all about speed for Salford. They put Hull FC on the back foot, and Hull FC just couldn't really recover, and now they get the chance of going for 2 points.
The thing with SAS is we know he offloads, and Hull know he offloads, and if he gets it wrong he gets slaughtered, but if he gets it right he's a hero. So there's always a knife edge to that decision to offload, isn't it? It can go wrong, we know that.
Look, I just think that with that, when he loses the ball there, and I think it was the shot from Brad Singleton, even though he got rid of Brad Singleton put enough effort into that tackle where he loses possession.
Mark Sneed, so reliable, like a metronome, and the left boot does the rest, and Mark Sneed makes it 20 points to 12 here.
Well, they take the points, and you see Simon Griggs and Richie Milett will obviously be disappointed at conceding that penalty, and then knowing that Hull FC need to score 2 tries, and it's going to be difficult. And it's one of those cheap penalties that when you reflect as a player, you'll be gutted that you come up with that play. And a big set here now for Salford. They can't afford to make an error.
4 Mark Sneed goals on the afternoon now, 2 conversions and 2 penalties from the perennial top scorer for Salford. Now the next score becoming increasingly important in this contest. You feel if Salford score again and go 14 clear, it's pretty much all over Red Rover, but if Hull can score and get it back to a couple of points, it's very much game on again here. Good contest, close contest. Hankerson dives on a loose ball, but Chris Kendall is on the ball and says it's gone forward, and Hull are going to get an attacking set here.
There you go. Points. After scoring points, you need to make sure that you get through your set, and they make an error. And like I said, you just got to. The biggest thing is after you've scored points in a close game like that, you're only leading by 8 points. You've got to make sure you get through to your kick, and they didn't do that.
Well, Hull FC looking to pull clear of the bottom of the table. This is what they've got coming up, the big derby next weekend. That's at home to Hull KR, then home against the champions and league leaders Wigan. Go to Catalans after that, home to Saints, and away to Lee. That is not to be confused with an easy run of fixtures. Mind you, when you're 11th on the league ladder, nothing's going to come easy, let's be fair. Let's have it right here, and Hull have got the ball in hand. Close to the try line again. Can they make hay here when they've got this attacking set? That was Will Gardner going in. This is Truman. Truman drops off a ball, and coming in from the far side is Jordan Lane. Lane, though, is smothered. Partington and Singleton doing the job for Salford. Barnforth again, who's done well since coming on. SASA, no offload there from the big man. But they're inside the 10-metre area. They're right in the red zone here. Burrow is in the way. Play on is the call. Reynolds shaped to kick, get the ball in hand. Here is the fullback. Here's the fullback scoring a try. Logan Moy. Oh no, it's crossing a Shepherd. It's a Shepherd.
Yeah, I think Mark Sneed was taken out as well. Not difficult for them. I thought the ball would have gone for Jake Truman, but Ben Reynolds gets it. See, there's a couple of players just going in. Brad Fash, Carlos Tumavavi just collides with Mark Sneed and just makes the decision really easy for the referee to pull that one back. But again, young Logan Moy just showing what he can do if he gets that chance, that opportunity.
So that disallowed try came with 17 minutes to go. Denies Moy the try, and the 4 points to Salford would have got them back within 4. But no question that Chris Kendall was spot on with the decision there. A clear obstruction, and Salford from the penalty are now back on the halfway line here. The Red Devils, Paul Rowley's side, looking for his 40th win today as Salford Red Devils coach in what is his 76th game as their boss. Loose pass picked up there by Braley. Braley dances away from one tackle and then gives us the hop, step and jump exhibition. The Red Devils fullback, Burrow's there, just inside Hull FC territory now. Atkin and Hankinson. Hankinson having a good second half here. It's featured a try. He thought he'd got another one, but was pulled back for a knock on. Burrow again. He uses Sneed. Sneed, the simple ball. It's an effective ball too for Salford as they move forward once more here, looking for more points. That was Lewis. This is Atkin. Atkin. Very central position, about 18 metres out from the whole try line. Another try here would virtually finish it off, you feel. Partington. Lewis again. Good tackle by Barnforth. Burrow. Sneed, a real menace from this position. A danger, a live wire, still going. Mark Sneed for the try! Has he got that down? I didn't see it grounded, and I don't think Chris Kendall did either. Let's see what the referee's decision is. It felt like a certain try, but is it one? No, not according to Chris Kendall. So again, it's going to be a decision for our video referee this afternoon, and that man is Jack Smith.
Tackle 4, we've got no try on field. The next will be coming into tackle 5. We're just checking grounding, please. Let's work this angle. Sneed's in possession at this point. Going towards the line. Legitimate tackle. Just go back and really slow, please. That's the bit where it's closest to the ground. This same angle will be good for us, just if we just go back on it. Just as it goes near the ground, just really slow down. This will be fine now. Run it through from here. Yeah, go slow now and forwards. Ball is always up. Keep running it through this angle. Keep running it through. Same angle. Set this angle all the way to the end now. Just make sure the ball's always up. It never touches the ground. He's in possession. Ball's always up. Keep running it forwards. And at this point now, the referee blows his whistle. He's over the line, and then it's going into tackle 5. It'll be Sneed to play the ball. I've made my decision.
And so, in a matter of 2 minutes, 2 tries have been disallowed. One for an obstruction for Logan Moy and one for not grounding the ball for Mark Sneed. Confirmation of the decision coming up here from video referee Jack Smith. No try. Held up over the line. It's going to be Mark Sneed to play it 10 metres out, keeping Hull in the game. Sneed plays the ball. Burrow spins it to Atkin. Atkin with the kick this time, not Sneed. Surprise tactics, perhaps. Is that grounded in goal? Lewis Martin could not get out of jail. He was locked up. And now they'll have to kick out from underneath their own post here. All the pressure mounting on Hull FC.
Well, Logan Moy keeps him in the game with that try-saving tackle. And that play from Lewis Martin, when he gets this, look, it's dropped on his head from Chris Atkin. He jumps from midfield the play and then he's pushed back over the try line. So it's the correct call from the referee and the touch judges.
And that's a useful weapon for Salford to have, that Chris Atkin can put the ball on the money from the kick as well. Mark Sneed, of course, was tied up at the play, the ball having been tackled over the goal line, but Atkin's kick there was as equal of what Sneed could produce.
I think he's outstanding. He can play in more or less every position on the field, Chris Atkin. Well, there's a bit of coming together there.
Penalty to Salford.
Well, it's Jackie Chan and Logan Lewis. Logan Lewis, the young 22-year-old, who wants an opportunity in Super League. He's got one. I'm not just trying to take him to the ground.
They lead by 8, so Sneed turns down the 2.
Yeah,
goes instead for more. So they'll go to work again here, Salford, 20 metres out, looking for the try, which would be their 4th try of the afternoon and potentially the match clincher. Atkin again. He was there forcing that dropout, wasn't he, with the kick? And this time he's tackled, 20 metres out, Chris Atkin. Burrow again. Singleton now, Singleton's on the charge. Lewis. The whole defence now starting to creak like an old barn door. Will Salford kick it down? Sneed. That's knocked on. No, it's not. It's collected brilliantly by Timovavi. Can he stay in play? He's done exceptionally.
Well, he read that perfectly, didn't he? He could see what was on in front of him. The lead runner going through Carlos Timovavi pouches it. They look to shift the ball over. Tom Briscoe on the left-hand side, desperate for a quick play of the ball.
Briscoe did exceptionally well. Barnforth got them moving forward again. And still going as Lewis Martin took it forward. Now Truman. This is good from Hull. They've taken themselves into Salford territory in just 3 tackles. Great counter-attack. Jordan Lane going nowhere on this occasion. Now will he go into touch? Well, there's a tremendous shove on and they deposited him virtually into row A, but I think the referee's blown a penalty. He has.
There's a pause.
He called it held.
There's a pause and you keep dragging.
He said that the tackle was complete, it was held, and then the players have come in and started pushing him over the sideline.
What are you doing, boys?
So another set of 6 now that they've got to come up with the answers here.
Well, the Salford defenders there were like a juggernaut with no brakes. Held or not held, they couldn't stop, and they shoved Lane over the sideline. And as Terry said, the held call had got up, and so it was always going to be a penalty. Reynolds showing and then going, but going straight into the arms of Brad Singleton and Ollie Partington. Chan. Barnforth now looking for his second, and again it would be similar. He's still going. This pocket rocket from Hull. Well, I tell you what, from dummy half he packs a punch, and no mistake. Denis Barnforth nice. Caressing the kick forward, and it's Truman who's creating the try. And it looks like Jordan Lane scores the try. Truman's assist. It was such a cultured kick, wasn't it? He just caressed the ball rather than kicking it. And Lane had read the book. He was on the right page of that script. Touches down. What a counter-attack from Hull FC, all coming from that intercept by Carlos Timovavi.
Yeah, good read from him, wasn't it? He saw the play, what was coming off from Mark Sneed. He gets the ball. He knows exactly what he wants. Then Salford give the penalty away for pushing the Hull player over the sideline. They have a couple of chances. Denis Barnforth goes for it, but it's a clever kick from Hull and through Truman. And Jordan Lane, who's been ever present this year, shows up, does all the hard work defensively, but been rewarded there for his effort in attack.
And Reynolds here, Ben Reynolds, who by my calculation has kicked 14 on the trot in the Super League. If he can make it 15 on the trot, they'll bring him back to win a couple of points. He's missed. The Reynolds streak ends. He misses the conversion. Lane's try only worth 4, not 6, and the gap remains.
Well, that's what pressure does to it, isn't it? But at least they've scored the try, and they needed to score again anyway. Well, that's the try that gets them back into the game, and also gives them a bit of a belief as well going into the last 10 minutes of this game. Don't forget the start of the second half. They had Tom Briscoe sat on the sideline for 10 minutes, and they've really come alive now through that Carlos Timovavi play where he intercepts the ball from Mark Sneed.
Well, if you want drama in Super League, the Salford Community Stadium is the place to come. Virtually every time you come here, there's drama that goes right down to the final page of the last act without knowing what the final line of the story is going to be. Never mind who done it. It's a who won it again at Salford. They edged past Warrington late on. They snuck past St Helens late on. what will happen here. This time Salford are nursing a very slender lead inside the final 10.
Well, that's it. They're used to closing down those close games, aren't they, Salford? Hull FC, though, can they do that?
Good hands, Briscoe. Briscoe is stopped as he approaches the halfway line. They're chasing the game, but they're in the game. Brad Fash. Fash offloads out the back door. Tumavave again. They want another 6. Not forthcoming at this moment. Tumavave having a wow of a few minutes here for Hull FC. Barnforth likewise. Scored once, almost scored again. Truman created that kick so beautifully for Lane. This is tremendous from Hull now. They're really flowing. The fullback. Oh, it's another. And again, Logan Moyes involved with ball in hand as his teammates obstruct, and a penalty to Salford.
Yeah, he got caught in two minds. The young man, Ben Reynolds, had like pushed up really hard and gone through the line, and he runs behind him. The offloading game has been causing Salford a few problems. Ben Reynolds pushed forward, Moy goes behind, and it's a dead set penalty in front of the ref.
Well, in the last few weeks, Hull FC and Simon Griggs have beaten Leeds. They've come close to Cass. They've come close to Huddersfield. They've come close to Warrington last week, when a last-gas Matt Duffy try did for them when they were very much in the hunt. It looked like being a drop goal contest. Duffy had other ideas. And so they've been close to winning several weeks running, in and amongst. They seem to be moving in the right direction, Hull FC, but you don't get paid for playing well, Terry. You get paid for winning.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got to make sure that you nail those results. Ollie Partington and Brad Singleton have been working really well together. They got a penalty for a late hit in the back.
Now, I think Mark Sneyd might think, I'll take 2 here, stretch the lead to 6, and take, say, a minute off the clock, slow everything down, calm down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because 6 points means even if Hull scored, they've got the insurance policy of golden point then, Salford, haven't they?
Yeah.
They can't lose it in one play.
Well, and you know, with Mark Sneyd leading you and bossing you around, the likes of Ollie Parton and Brad Singleton, whether he set up centre field for a drop goal, coming towards the back end of the game, that we've only got 7 minutes or just over 7 minutes to go in this, you could see that play sort of like playing out.
Absolutely, and he's kicked 3 field goals this year already, Mark Sneyd. And if you wanted a player in the Super League to kick you a one-pointer, Mark Sneyd would be your go-to guy, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
And Salford have him at their disposal, and that's a massive advantage at this point. Now, can he add 2 more? It would be his 3rd successful penalty of the afternoon. And it would make it 22-16 if he can nail it here, Mark Sneyd, in the 74th minute of this matchup. Sneyd, it's pretty straight onto the post. It's maybe 5 or 6 metres to the left of them as he's looking at it. And Mark Sneyd looking to make the lead half a dozen points. No dramas. Mark Sneyd, 22-16, Salford.
Look, I think they're a tough side, Salford. They're tough to beat. They're in those games where they're winning. A lot of rumours about that man on the left with the glasses, Paul Rowley, about will he end up at Leeds, will he not, will he stay here? He believes in what he's bought here. He believes in what he's got as a team. The man next to him, Kurt Haggerty, Rowley's assistant, was with him at Leeds, Toronto, and now here. You can speak to anyone in the game, say how good he is, and he's ready maybe for a role.
Short kick off, they can't, well, it's batted back. Can Salford get hold of it? They can. They did well there, to be fair, because Hull were hunting, retaining their own kick-off, and they couldn't quite do it. It got batted back, and it was collected in the end by Logan Lewis for Salford on the floor. And now time ticking away for Hull. 6 minutes left.
Look, they close this game down. They play on the back of a strong go forward, a big kicking game, and what, 3 sets of 6 that you've got to defend.
They've got the game under control now, Salford. You feel this home record, this is a real difficult patch to come and get a result as a visiting side. There's no doubt about that. Only Wigan have come here and won. It's an incredible stat, really. They're a threat elsewhere as well. They won at Warrington a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, Salford. So they're a threat anywhere.
Well, look, Mark Sneyd will get this ball. He'll be looking for the sideline if he can. Surely no, he's gone high.
Gone very high, Terry, very high indeed. Collected by Moy again. Does well, and he offloads to Lewis Martin. Martin straight to Hankinson. Hankinson and Callum Watkins on the stop, the Salford skipper. Liam Sutcliffe, but they're 75 metres from the target area of the try line. Briscoe. Well, every week pundits come to Salford, and when after the man of the match, they keep thinking, right, who can I pick instead of Mark Sneyd? Who can I pick instead of Mark Sneyd? And in the end, they think no one, and they give Mark Sneyd every week. Terry, who's the man of the match, player of the match, please?
Look, he's been outstanding. If they go on to win this game, like, I think he's caused havoc the way that he goes into the line, creates space. Like Herman Esse, he would have had a big save if Hull FC would have gone on, but Mark Sneyd has been very good in this game.
Use your imagination, man. The offload in desperation. They've still got their hands on the football, though, Hull FC. Looked like they'd lost it, but Briscoe is the man to pick it up. But Singleton and Sneyd stopped him in his tracks. Brad Fash charging forward towards the halfway line. They need a try, and they need it now. 4 minutes left. They're down by half a dozen. A kick that's charged down. It's Reynolds' kick. It'll be another set here, though, and it's fallen into the hands of Briscoe. That's a result for Hull. Another set here.
Do you know, that's a really dangerous play. On the last play, Ollie Parton putting pressure on the man who's kicking the ball. You maybe just let him get away with the kick, and Ryan Bradley will deal with it.
Well, they're still just about hanging on to their chances here, Hull FC. Will Gardner was there, Barmforth, Truman, Reynolds, good stuff. Moy, yes, gets it wide to Martin. Lewis Martin scores for Hull. The try that keeps their flickering hopes alive. The flame is still burning for Hull FC. Lewis Martin surges in the corner for his 5th try of the season, and it was a good try too. They moved that so smoothly, silky smooth to the left wing, and Martin said, I'll go in here and make it 5 for the season.
Look, I said, Rod, it's dangerous play. On the last play, when you're inside your own half and you're putting pressure on the man who's going to kick the ball. Ollie Parton does everything right apart from attacks the ball. If he attacks the man, yeah, OK. They get another set of 6 and they go down there with the speed of Lewis Martin, the youngster, on the back of a 2-year deal. They've come to life, haven't they? Look at that, the way that they play, the way that they attack, the form that they are in recently, in close games that they've lost Hull FC. Can they pull this one out of the bag? A massive kick from the sideline.
You talked early on in the piece, Terry, about these young players that Hull are bringing through, and my word, we saw 2 there. We've seen Moy lighting up the stage here, Logan Moy, the young fullback, 18 years old, and then Lewis Martin, and he can finish this boy, by the way, can't he? You show him the try line and he's in.
He's great. He's great. He's powerful. Look, he's not the biggest, and he's got to develop. He's only 20 years of age, but when he fills out, like, he's going to be one player.
This is a big one for Ben Reynolds from the sideline, right from the whitewash. Really difficult kick, but one that's worth much gold if he can knock it over. We're inside the final 2 minutes here, and Ben Reynolds had the chance to tie up the game. Richie Myler nervously twiddling his thumbs, the whole director of rugby. As the coaching staff, the fans and us watch this from Ben Reynolds. The strike, it's close. It's just wide. It's a good strike, close but no cigar, and Salford hang on to their lead.
Well, they've still got to get through the next minute and a half, though. Salford and Hull FC, well, it's going to be offload, it's going to be game on.
Well, I tell you what, Terry, this weekend is threatening to turn into a golden point-a-thon, because that would have been 3 straight games going to extra time if Reynolds had nailed that, wouldn't it?
Well, some of these fixtures really difficult to call, aren't they? And this one going down, another one that's going down right to the wire.
And Mark Sneyd's reaction after the kick missed was instructive. He immediately told the other 12 players on his team to calm down, leave this to me. Right, and Sneyd puts that right in the corner. That's nigh on perfect.
There's your first one.
They're 90 metres away from the line when they get the ball hole. And now, as Terry says, it's got to be really something spectacular now. They've got to throw it about. They've got to take risks. Even if they concede trying to score, it's just how it is. Time is ticking. The seconds ticking down. Everyone in the ground can see the clock. It shows that we've now got just over a minute to go. The players can see it too. And Salford know how close they are to another big win in their hunt for a playoff place. Hull won't be in the playoffs, but they're really putting it up to the Red Devils here, and no mistake. Keeping it moving, Brad Fash has dropped it, it's loose. Salford have got the ball. Possession is now 10/10 of the law at this stage of the match.
Well, a bit of panic from Hull FC then. They know that they had to throw the ball around, but you want to get the ball into players' hands that are going to do something. I was looking for young Logan Moy linking up with Jake Truman over on the left-hand side out the back. It didn't come off, though.
At this point of the match, normally, Salford have been trying to score, but at the moment a score means nothing, but it's been knocked on.
Well, they need to form the scrum pretty quick here. Look, the referee's giving them the mark. They need to form the scrum before the clock will be stopped. So they've probably got 2 more plays, Rod. 2 more plays to score a try.
A blunder from Big Gil Dodson has given them one last chance. One last roll of the dice. Can Hull throw a double 6 this late in the game? 17 seconds left when the play restarts. And Timavave is almost wrapped up from the scrum as Dodson tries to make amends for the handling error. He's done that because he stopped Timavave making any progress. Is this the last play of the match? The ball's in the hands of Ben Reynolds. They move it from right to left. They've got the ball in the hands of Moy. The siren goes. Last play. It's all over. Salford have hung on. Salford have hung on by their fingertips to another home win. And Hull still searching for a win on the road, but they really put it up to Salford here. They rattled their cage and they almost claimed the 2 points as well. Great performance from Super League's 11th ranked club, but it's not enough, and Salford have won again. It was another Mark Sneed show here, and they've won, the Red Devils, but only just. And we'll be back with reaction and analysis shortly.